Man, there's a lot going on this lower end of this engine here, not to mention the valve train. Think about that. These connecting rods, crankshaft, everything has to move around. And in between this connecting rod and the crankshaft, there's bearings. And those bearings, you have to have some oil in between there. There can't be nothing touching. That's how the lower end works. Welcome to the AMSOIL Tech Tip. We are talking bearings. What do? Well, there's actually a fine wedge of oil in between the bearing there. That's the connecting rod and the crankshaft itself. What are they made of? Well, you can see it right there. They're called embeddability. There's things that actually go into the bearing that catch it so it gets suspended in the oil. The oil has to keep that stuff so it can get embedded in there because it's really, really fine. It's actually gonna wear off. You can see it here. The steel backing plate, the copper, the babbitt, and the moly graphic. You can actually take one of these bearings and scratch it with your finger and do damage to it. Also, when we talk about pistons, you got rings that have to go down to the bottom, and that's got to seal this blow-by. The stuff's getting down into the oil. That's a problem, Len. You can see it right here with the graphic. We got two pistons, man. What are we talking about?
Well, what's going on here is the rings are sticking. And what causes rings stick is the oil actually oxidizing and breaking down from the heat of combustion. That piston is seeing combustion heat, so it's seeing flame. And what happens if the oil is not robust enough, it'll deposit, the ring starts to stick, and then it's like a snowball effect, if you will, where it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse until you're losing compression and losing performance.
Yeah, not to mention the hole in the piston. These ones here, well, they're totally stuck in.
Right.
And this is what we're supposed to be like, right?
Yep, that's exactly how it should be. Loose, free, sealed into the cylinder wall, holding the combustion gases above the top of the piston.
Now, when we talk about bearings, I mean, there's all different types of bearings and different things that they do. But we saw earlier, Len, they have to be a fine material, and oil has to ride in between them, man. Big thing here from the leading competitor to AMSOIL.
Right, anything that gets in there, the fluid film, you're talking about film strength, fluid, the construction of the oil itself, the base oils, all keeps that wedge, intact so that the parts don't actually touch. You don't want parts touching.
So it doesn't end up like this here?
Right, that one looks pretty bad.
And then we got a couple of new ones here, scratched up, but we said that was babbitt material, super easy. Man, it's got to do an awesome job, that oil, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it's got a big job to do there, and it all starts in the lab when we're building the product. If you understand the engine and the forces that the oil is being subject to, you're going to be light years ahead.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts over there. But the proof's right here on the screen, the technology and science that goes into all AMSOIL products.